Hey everyone, it's Carly and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my 2020 5-star book predictions. I've never done this before, so I'm super excited to see my thoughts and feelings by the end of 2020 and see if all these books meet my hype and meet my standards. And these books are basically from authors that I've already read before and authors that I like and trust, and books that I liked and probably have already given 5 stars to, or at least given enough stars and ratings for me to believe that their next book in 2020 is good enough to be on my 5-star predictions. I have 7 books here. I was trying to make it to 10, but I didn't really have any other books that I was looking forward to reading that I know I would give 5 stars to, so it's a little bit of a shorter list and a very odd number. So anyway, without further ado, let's jump right in. So my first book is not going to be a surprise. It is You Are Not Alone by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. This comes out on May 3rd, 2020, and I obviously picked this one because I loved both of their books. I gave them both 5 stars this year, and Anonymous Girl is my favorite book of the year. So pretty easy to say that this is probably one of my favorites. I don't really know what it's about. I just kind of figured that I knew I would like it. I did read the synopsis at one point, but now I just don't really remember. But it's, again, obviously on the thriller part of the book genres, just because that is what they write. And I'm super excited because I love their first 2 books, like I said. So if you have not read The Life Between Us or An Anonymous Girl, please do pick it up because you will not regret it. It was a really awesome time listening to them on audiobooks, and it was very easy to keep up with physical reading or even audiobooks, I'm pretty sure. But it was just really good listening to the audiobooks because it just kept you on the edge of your seat the entire time. So I have no doubt that this will definitely be like a 5 stars for me, and I'm super excited because I'm trying to get an arc of it, so fingers crossed. Second one is obviously, and kind of not really surprising as well, it's Heartstopper Volume 3 by Alice Oseman. This comes out on February 6th, 2020, and I've already read the first one, gave that 5 stars, and the second one I just actually read this month, and I gave that 5 stars. I almost cried over it. It was chef's kiss. It was amazing, and I have no doubt that the third one's going to be the exact same way. I love this this graphic novel series. It's amazing. It's about these 2 guys. One is out as gay, I think, and the other one is kind of very unsure of his sexuality, but in the second book we kind of explore more of his thoughts and feelings on his own sexuality and kind of get a standpoint of him and his internal thoughts and stuff like that, which kind of hit really close to home, which is really nice and made me emotional. But it was a good one because it just kind of made him, it was more of his focus on his sexuality and their relationship and stuff like that. It's just really cute. It's about these 2 friends, and they kind of go from friends to lovers, and it's just a really cute book. It's just so wholesome. It makes your heart so warm inside, and it's just like a book that you kind of have to pick up just because it's like it's easy read and it's so cute, and the details in the book are so amazing. And I've actually never really read anything else from Alice Oseman. I tried to read Solitaire, right? That's what it's called, and I wasn't really interested in it, so I have only ever read Heartstopper by her, and I have no reasons to complain. I love the series so much. The third one, I'm kind of afraid on this one. It is Snotgirl Volume 3 by Brian Lee O'Malley. This comes out on March 10th, 2020. I only say that I'm afraid because I think I gave the first one, I want to say that I gave it a 4 stars. I read that, that was my first book that I read this year, well, graphic novel. A lot of these are like graphic novels, but that was the first graphic novel that I read this year, and I gave it 4 stars. The second one, I think I liked more than the first one, but it took me a while to read that one because I was kind of like not really wanting to pick it up. There was nothing really grabbing my attention to pick it up and to take it off my shelves and read it, but once I did, I was actually kind of happy about it. The graphic novel series gets different types of feedback. A lot of people say they really hate it and gave the first one a 1 star, but this is again just a continuation onto the graphic novel series. I think the next one kind of focuses on more LGBTQ plus stuff being thrown in there, I want to say. It kind of did in the second one as well, so yes, no, it's not really like an LGBT graphic novel, but it gives me the vibes that it is, and I think they're trying to focus more on that in the third one, so I'm super excited about that one, and it's something that I want to continue reading, and we'll see. I'm just kind of afraid that I might not like it, so I don't know if it will be a 5 star, but we're just going to say that because I like the other ones. The next one is a very ballsy one and scary one. It is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. This comes out on March 3rd, 2020. And I only say that I'm afraid because I've only read one of her books, and that took me the entire year to read. I probably shouldn't have put it on my list, but I was like, oh, I didn't know she was coming out with a book. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to say that's going to be one of my 5-star predictions. It was probably very ballsy of me to do that because I've only read one of her books, and that was City of Bones. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, and I like her writing, so I kind of have no doubt that I love it. I do like Cassandra Clare's like world building and her characters and just how she writes and stuff like that, so I have doubts and no doubts at the same time, so it's just like I'm kind of very like 50-50 on if I like this and if I not like it, because again, it's a whole new series that she's starting, I think. it kind of crosses paths with like Shadowhunters and something else. It sounds a little bit familiar to City of Bones, but then it has like different characters, and we have to learn like different characters into different worlds. So I'm kind of excited for that because I really did love grasping everything that City of Bones gave. So I'm kind of excited to see how my feelings will be with this book, and if I'll be able to follow through as well as easy as I did with City of Bones, because I was able to keep up with City of Bones really easily. But we'll see if that one keeps up to my standards. So that's another one I'm kind of scared of. The fifth one. It is Blood and Honey by Shelby Maroon. I don't know how to say it. It comes out September 1st, 2020. So we have to wait like a good actual year for that to come out. It's only because Serpent and Dove just came out. I'm gonna say September-ish. And I actually just read that. I gave it did I give it a 5-star? Or did I give it 4s? I don't know. I liked it. I actually just got the physical copy because somebody gifted it to me, so I'm really grateful for that. But I also listened to an audiobook, and it was kind of hard to like pay attention and keep up with it. So I'm hoping that the second one will be just as good. I have no clue what the second one's gonna be about. I think she gave a little tiny bit of a peek into the synopsis of it, but she didn't really go into deep details of it, just because it doesn't even have a cover yet. But I don't know. I'm interested to see what it's gonna be about, considering Actually, no, they did kind of leave it off on a cliffhanger in the first book, so I feel like they would have like a good place for them to continue on the series with. Oh, I don't know. It should be interesting. I'm kind of afraid. Not gonna lie. The sixth one is a random one. It's called The Mall by Megan McCafferty. It comes out June 2020, and I saw this on NetGalley and I got denied for a copy of it. But it just kind of sounds like an easy, just like fun read about. It's kind of like a contemporary romance, I want to say, but it kind of sounds. It's like about these friends. They like go to this mall. And it's like it's like year 1970 or something like that. It's like in the 70s, all the cute like 70s stuff that's out, like really popular nowadays, which is funny. But it just kind of sounds like a cute little fun read that's gonna be like pretty simple. It sounded really good. I honestly am blanking a little bit of the synopsis. The cover's really cute of it too, and I don't know. I feel like it might just be like an average 3. So it's kind of. It was kind of a bad idea to put this on my predictions of it being how I think it's gonna be 5 stars, but it's whatever. I never read anything from this author either. I don't know if I like the writing style. I don't know anything. This is just kind of one that is randomly plopped on there. Yeah. The next one is another one that I'm actually terrified for. I'm not gonna lie. It's Love Her, Lose Her by Tessa Bailey. It comes out January 14th, 2020. This is like one of the earliest releases that are coming out. I say I'm scared because I was watching Chelsea's one video. I think it was a wrap-up she did. She read an arc of it, and she said she didn't really like it. It follows Dominic and his wife from the first book, and he's like an alpha male, and we heard a little bit of them in the first book, and I really like the first book more than, I can't say that in the second book, but I love the first book. I love the characters in that. I didn't really care for Dominic and his wife in that book, but maybe it'll be better when I get like an actual point of view from their point of view in a book, so I don't really know. And it's just kind of like their relationship and like the sexual tension and all that kind of stuff, because it sounded like in the first book that they were like a couple that had fights and that they were barely even together. But I don't know, I'm just kind of afraid because I heard that it's not as sexual as it was in the first book, so that kind of disappoints a little bit. But I don't know. I want to say that it might be a 5 stars because Tessa Bailey's first book, Fix Her Up, that's what I'm talking about. Fix Her Up was a 5-star for me, and it was a really good book. I really enjoyed my time reading that. I read that in like 2 days. I trust Chelsea's opinion because we do like read similar books, and she loved the first book, so I'm kind of afraid that I'm not gonna like the second book like she did. So we shall see how that goes. But that actually completes all of my books for my 5-star predictions of 2020. I'm really scared for some of these nominees. I guess you can say that these are nominees for what I think is gonna be like 5 stars for 2020. And I know there's gonna be so many other books that I'll probably pick up that'll be new in 2020. But these are the only ones that I really had on my list for so far being 5 stars. So I guess we'll see by the end of 2020 on how all that goes about and what'll be different, and if I'll actually like any of these books. Like all these books could be absolute shit, and I could end up DNFing all of them. So I hope it doesn't do that, because that would just be really bad. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a big like, subscribe down below to join the family, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye guys.